Milwaukee last year. You can find him on LinkedIn. We also found him on LinkedIn. You can be one of his 5,000. You can be a 5,000 first or 5,000 second follower. Turn off your phone.
Sorry, live streaming.
It's live streaming. It's all about the live stream. Welcome, Sam Lister, to 1 Million Cups Rockford.
Thank you, Jason. And thank you, all of you who came out, watched. Hopefully, all of you are having a great 2019. Like Jason said, I'm Sam Lister. I run Blnk Slate Media, and we're a video company specializing in events and personal branding. You can find me on various social medias. This slide will be at the end, so don't get your phones out quite yet. But to start things off, I don't like PowerPoints. I think they can be very boring and time-consuming, so if I'm boring and time-consuming, please raise your hand and let me know. But a little bit about my background. I grew up in Greendale, Wisconsin. It's about an hour and a half from here, 15 minutes southwest of Milwaukee. I'm currently 19 years old and not going to college. So, little backstory, I've always loved the process of working. I love the process of making money, not so much the money itself, but I've just loved finding different ways to make money. So, at an early age, I cut grass, just like 80% of the other people out there. I loved cutting grass because I found it fun and I was making money at the same time. So when I got into high school, I applied for a job at my local baseball field and ski hill, worked my way up to management level through those 4 years of high school. In the winter, I would pretty much rake the snow jumps and rails for snowboarding, and you can see that taught me hard work. There was early mornings and very, very late nights. So here's just a couple of my Snapchats from the previous winter. That's me getting there at 6:40 a.m. and leaving at 3 a.m., 3:18 a.m., and 4:11 a.m. So those aren't normal hours. Obviously, I would go home and sleep for like 2 hours in between, but it was very grueling. But that really taught me to put my head down and work. So I was still in high school, so I was still working about 40, 50 hours with school and sports. So it was 100-hour weeks every single week. But again, that taught me hard work at an early age. So it's graduation time at the end of high school. I knew I wasn't going to college, but I didn't really know what I was going to do. So I was introduced to a character named Gary V, and his mantra is just try things out. You don't know when you're going to like something until you try and try and try and try a bunch of things. So I was in the same position as many other high school students at the time. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, but I knew I was going to try different things. So that's exactly what I did. I tried cryptocurrency and forex trading. Didn't work out the best. I've tried e-commerce, I've tried real estate. I just didn't find something that stuck, and I didn't like any of that. I found it boring and just for different reasons. But something very interesting I was doing at the time was video. I was documenting this whole process since day one. So I filmed my very first video in April of 2018, simply documenting this journey. I wanted these videos so in 10 to 15 years I can look back and say, hey, this is exactly where I started. So that's April. So I just tried all of these things throughout that following summer, and then I was just posting the videos on Snapchat, Instagram, other platforms 18-year-olds are on. But in August, something very interesting happened. I hopped over to LinkedIn, actually. Out of all the places, LinkedIn, I hated it. It was just filled with business, salesy professionals, and I just really didn't fit in, and I didn't like it. People wore suits and ties, and it's just not my thing. But I'm glad I hopped on. So I started sharing the same videos that I did on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, but on LinkedIn, and something stuck. So here's a lot of words. I know I said I don't like PowerPoints, but I think this is just very interesting. So I filmed my very first video on LinkedIn in late August of 2018, and then by September of 2018, early September, I got my first video client. So people were reaching out to me on LinkedIn asking if I could film their videos and helping them expand their personal brand. So I did just that. And at the time, I technically had a business because people were paying me for my services. At the time, I didn't know where it would lead, but I stuck with it. So early October, I launched Blnk Slate Media, the company I'm talking about right now. And we do personal branding work and events. So we make videos. And fast forward to late October, I landed my 10th client from LinkedIn. So that's the matter of 1 to 2 months there. And it just moved so fast. So fast forward until December, I reached close to 500,000 views on LinkedIn just in those 4 months. So I've just gotten a crazy amount of traction, but that's because I'm authentic and I just tell my story. I'm not selling anything, and people are naturally coming to me. So from LinkedIn, I landed my first speaking gig. You guys are here right now, so that's been super cool. At the end of 2018, I wanted to make it a goal to get good at speaking in 2019 and land more speaking gigs. So that's exactly what I've done. I'm speaking here today, obviously, and I'm getting flown out to Dallas, Texas in March sometime. We're still figuring dates, but I'll be on like a marketing and content creation panel, so that's pretty cool, I think. And then I'm actually speaking for Marquette University. I'm leading a workshop, like a media productions workshop, to upper-level college students. So students that have gone to school for 2, 3, 4 years for exactly what I'm doing, and I bought a camera this past September. So if anyone tells you you can't learn stuff on YouTube, just second guess them. You can learn a lot from online, YouTube. There's so many online courses, but that really takes us to the end. That's where I'm at right now. This journey has been very short. So everything I've talked about really happened in the past 5, 6, 7 months, but that's what happens when you put yourself out there and you're not afraid to really just jump in. But you have to jump in when you can drown still. Like, I had very little overhead. I still live with my parents. I have very minimal expenses. I'm not going to school, so I have the time. So just really finding that time and finding the right time and moment to jump in and go all in is super key. So from my journey, there's just a few main takeaways. Try new things is number 1. I didn't like video. I hated video, actually, when I first started. But because I stayed consistent, which takes me to number 2, I'm here today running my own videography company and speaking across the country. So, like I said, stay consistent. It doesn't matter if you try new things if you don't stick with it. Like, nothing's going to happen in the first week or month or year. Like, this has all happened in 6 months, but I don't feel like I've even started yet. Sure, it's a good start, but I'm nowhere near where I'll be in another 2, 3, 4 months or even years. So, brings me to number 3, stop caring what other people think. We're on this earth for like 100 years. Like, you're really gonna let a comment on social media dictate what you're gonna do with your future? I think that's just ridiculous. So many times people are scared of other people's judgments and what they think, what their friends think, what their family is gonna think of them. But just stop caring about that. Because usually they're just jealous of you that you'll take a risk and you're brave enough to make that jump. So just please stop caring what people think. But without all of this, if you don't work hard, nothing is going to happen. So just put your head down and work. That's my advice to you guys. So 4 things. Try new things, stay consistent at those things, stop caring what people think, and put your head down and work. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's give Sam a hand.